Welcome back to Soul Trading. In this episode, we go and spend some time with my good friend Morgan at her gorgeous home in Brighton, where we talk about parenting, taking over a business, and what it means to shift with the evolving needs of her wider industry. I hope you enjoy the episode. I am Morgan Evans. I am a senior agent and producer at Germaine Walker's photographic agency. I represent 8 photographers who are working commercially in the advertising sector, and I produce the majority of their commercial advertising work. So I definitely put a lot of myself into my work. My work is my life. It really defines who I am. Which can be a little bit all-consuming sometimes, and it also means that it affects all of my personal relationships and my family. It can be really challenging, but it can also be so rewarding because it's difficult to separate your brand from your personal identity. So if we don't win a pitch, if we're told we're not relevant, then that hits really hard because it's me that's not relevant. It's an uphill battle, but equally all it takes is that one human connection and that one success, and it's like everything's lifted and it affects every part of my life. When I win a job, it's not just me it affects, it's my entire family and my community of photographers and freelancers that are celebrating that. And it's really beautiful, and I wouldn't change that. For me, like, word of mouth recommendation is just the highest accolade, and so I'm always striving to leave behind positive relationships, whether that be with the runner who's on their first day with us or the client that's flown in from wherever it is. Like, everyone's going to be going to get the full experience because that person is also on a journey and is navigating to new places, and word of mouth recommendation is just, yeah, it's the dream. Everything that I do comes down to having good people skills. And it's not just that I have people skills, I'm also so curious about people's stories, like to a point of nosiness. I want to know about the people that I'm working with, and I want to know about their personal stories and what's brought them here. And so, yeah, I'm the one that's always asking questions and chatting maybe a bit too much, but it's always out of a really positive interest. When I left school, I knew I wanted to go into the creative industries. I just didn't really know where. My family lived in London, so I was fortunate enough to be able to apply for every runner position across the creative sector. I just worked any possible place I could. I think I earned about £100 for the entire year. But I was like runners on film sets, I worked at fashion magazines, I worked in as like an assistant to the assistant pattern cutter. I basically swept floors, like anything that I could do to have some kind of access, I was there. Charlie and Woody, my husband and my son, are very important to me. We made lots of life shifts and lifestyle shifts when Woody was born, in order to safeguard and ring fence his childhood and to make sure that he had the best, which was really important to us. Charlie is so patient because if a brief came in and we had plans, he knew without any conflict, he knew that I would be ditching him to throw myself at this job. And he supported me. He's my biggest supporter. He'd be like filling the fridge with snacks and drinks so I could work late. It has had to change slightly since I had Woody, because obviously I can't just ditch Woody because he is a toddler and he's my most precious thing. I'm professionally proudest of the emerging roster because this team of people they're going places in our industry, and I look to the future. I flash forward 5 years and these names will be really significant names in our industry. Just knowing that I was part of a vehicle that helped propel people to a place that they deserve it's so exciting. We're going to open our books in January to the new emerging artists, and then we're going to get another group and another group and another group, and hopefully this will create a little ripple effect across the industry, and we'll start seeing some better representation of different voices across the industry. Yeah. For the first literal 10 years of my career, I just had these glimmers of what other people did, and we met, and it was very intense on like a 10 to 12 hour shoot day, and I'd have tiny, really beautiful interactions with people, and then I wouldn't see them for 6 months. And I had this sort of light bulb moment where it was COVID and everyone was locked in and shut down and nothing was happening, and I felt isolated and I felt vulnerable and alone and nervous for the future. And so for lots of the day, I was just sort of sat there thinking, what the hell can I do? And I got a WhatsApp from this amazing makeup artist that I love working with, Michelle Robotham, just saying, do you want to chat? And then that triggered this whole thing of me being like, ding, people. That's what I do. It's people. That's what I love doing. And so advice to younger me or someone fresh to the industry would be reach out outside of work to those people, like make human connections with those people. I've been actively involved in different groups of people in our industry, from the Association of Photographers to Women in Advertising Production, She Says, Who's Your Mama, lots of different groups. And so if it is tough, you know, you've lost a pitch or someone sent you a rude email, whatever, having someone that you trust and rely on to say like, is this normal? Or to just hype you up and make you feel like you're not a piece of shit is really nice. If I could change things, I would travel the world and go to less industrial estates and more tropical islands. But I love where I'm at, and I'm really, really excited about the future. Just sort of trying to work out whether there is, changes in the future that I might need to adapt to.